Isn't she lovely? You all know her as Bukala. Me, I know her as Asha, and this is who she is. Asha right here in the studio. Yeah, Lord, make some noise, somebody. It's the world famous Asha. How you doing? Looking kinky and bubbling, eh? Making all the money in the world, yeah? You're traveling around the whole world now. Nobody sees you again, you know. People know they see you again, you know. We only hear about you, we read about you in the papers. You know, your music is on Billboard. Your music is on, every chart in the world. You're a chart buster. Well, if you don't know, she has, of course, had success, major success musically. 2 major albums, Asha and Beautiful Imperfection. But why imperfection? I'm wondering. Anyway, that's food for thought. And your fans have some questions for you. Uh-huh. They've sent me mail, Twitter, Facebook. Okay. Please, if I don't ask Asha these questions, what am I going to do? All right, so are you ready for the questions?
Sure.
First of all, let's find out, how have you been? What have you been up to? What's up with you? People say, this cross-culture thing has helped you a lot. Mixing both the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
The French world and the Nigerian world has helped your success. How can you back that up?
Yeah, actually that's true, because that is the life that I know.
Mm-hmm.
Throughout my childhood to adulthood, it's always been this cross culture, and from the music that I listened to and the kind of parents I had, they were pretty open to ideas, to other people's cultures and all of that. So it's only natural that I have to always I have to always go between these 2 worlds, Paris, Lagos. It works for me. It's a perfect combination.
That's nice to hear that. Nice to hear that. That's fantastic. Now, looking at your fans want to know exactly, how do you separate Asha from Bukola? The Asha we see on TV in musicals and concerts. How do you separate Asha from, the you?
Music is actually a way of life, just like Christianity is a way of life. I cannot separate the 2. I'm the same person. I'm the same person. It can be different on stage because I'm working. I'm in the spirit. The stage has its spirit, and it has its vibe, and all the adrenaline and all of that.
When you say spirit, where do you draw your inspiration?
Well, from everywhere, life, from stories, from sitting with you. You tell me something, I find you interesting, you inspire me. You go somewhere in the recess of my mind, and someday, somewhere, a melody can, I can hear a melody, and then
your history is quite very interesting. Your humble beginnings, born in Nigeria. You went to Corona, I guess?
No, I was born in Paris.
You were born in Paris, and you went to Corona school, and you went to Nigeria or something like that.
No,
your story is quite very, very. It's a funny history, but you spent some time in Nigeria.
Yeah, I actually spent most of my childhood, primary school, secondary school.
Secondary school.
Yes.
So why Paris?
Why Paris? I think that's a question I would never find an answer to. I think it's destiny,
It's destiny. You were destined to.
Yeah, I was born there, and my father came back to Lagos, and we lived. He's a humble man, and he had dreams and all of that. Never thought I would go to Paris to be a musician or to have a music career. I thought I was going to go and visit and all of that, and things happened that were beyond my control. So it's destiny.
It's destiny. It has to be destiny. Now, looking at your musical career, the build, the drive, the energy, how you've come from a humble beginning to a major success. I don't know if I can ask you this question, but I have to ask you this question. Some people out there, critics who are always out there to say all kinds of things about musicians. Some people say that there's something similar, when it comes to your music and the likes of the Mercy Grays. I don't know. What are your thoughts about critics who'd like to compare you a lot to people like that?
Well, I think it's very easy for them. If you don't want to think too much, you would go and you sound like that. But then I wouldn't blame them, because if you listen to, or if you ask Mercy Gray who she listened to, she would probably have the same idols. She would probably tell you Billie Holiday. She would, and many more like that. So I think it depends on who you're listening to or who you were listening to as a child, and so I think that's where the similarity comes from. But my music has come from um, Lagos, that life, the the contrast, the urban, the poverty stricken, the ghetto, the stories, the Lagos market women and their style, and there's something really beautiful, chaotic, and that's how my life has always been, and it inspires me, to write.
People say your music is selective. A particular audience, appreciates you. A lot of people say that.
Why.
I don't know why they say
That's
that.
absolutely wrong.
As a matter of fact, right now, I like your music.
Yes.
But it appears to me that maybe you have a larger following overseas than in Nigeria. People love you overseas. There's a large crowd.
That's wrong. Absolutely.
How do you see that? How do you see that notion?
Well, I think the good thing about with what I have learned about the music and the way people react to it is there's actually no age barrier. Everybody listens. Somebody comes to me and say, "Oh, my 3-month-old baby sleeps when she listens," or "My 1-year-old baby dances," and and someone says, "Oh, my grandma," or someone's death wish was, "Please play Fire and Mountain at the funeral." I got that from Australia, but that doesn't mean I have more people or more supporters in Europe. You can imagine the love that I receive from my home, and that makes me proud. That makes me say, because this is the only place I can say, this is mine. This is my home. I am from here, and I have the right. I'm not a second-class citizen. So it's I know it's amazing with the way people talk and give love, and it's very inspiring. That's why I can never do without these two worlds, traveling, coming back home. I write most of the albums in Lagos. I might not go around the town. You don't see me, but I'm actually at home, traveling, going to the market, and going back to places that inspire me.
Why beautiful imperfection?
Well, because I thought it has it actually relates to me personally.
All right.
Yeah, and
when you say to you, I'm twisted right now because
no, it's
when you say
simple. It's pretty simple, and then it also, I remember when I was creating some of the songs on the album, the last album, and from nothing, it became really the changes, the growth. You see how the blossom in the studio. It just reminds me that I would never be perfect, but there's something beautiful in that imperfection. And that's what Lagos is actually about, because Lagos really inspires me a lot. And I think my life too at the same. I'm not a perfect singer. I'm not your model singer. I'm not
That's right.
the pop singer. But I think there's something beautiful in the imperfection.
Now that song, you be my man. You see, I'm sorry, my vocals are really bad right now. But it sounded like you were singing to a man, somebody, the love of your life, or somebody who is magnificent or some sort. Do you want to shine a light on that song? That is a big hit in Nigeria, by the way. We all love that song.
Of course, I was singing to a man. Who do you think I was singing to?
Yeah, it's a beautiful song.
Banana?
No, the truth is, that is a big hit in Nigeria, and it's coming from the Fire on the Mountain, the jailer, to Be My Man. It's.
Don't forget Bibanke.
Yeah, I know that.
Leave it out.
Yeah, I know that. Your inspiration kind of like tilted a bit.
So if I mention Bibanke, it comes from that too.
Okay.
I'm a mix of all this. I'm human. I'm a woman also, and I have needs. And Be My Man is a very simple song. It's
any of your needs that I can take care of? I'm just asking, guys. Don't get it twisted, folks. All right. Just got 3 brothers that can beat me up right now. I beg, if you're Asha's brother, please, I did joke. Huh.
Well, Be My Man is conversations I've had with my friends. We come together just like guys sit down. Oh, I want that one. I want that one. Yeah, that girl. Blah. And we have our own. I mean, girls always talk about guys who they would want and what they would want out of, the union. And so it's like, if you be my man, I will be your woman every day. If you stay true to me, if you love me, I will. I'll be yours every day.
True words.
I will cook
True
for
words.
you, even though it wouldn't be properly done, but I will try.
Oh, is cooking an issue now for you?
No, no.
God forbid. I'm sure you cook as good as you sing. And also, that song, we saw you dancing, rhythmically, very sensual. Can I use that language? But we liked it.